Hey there, beautiful people. It's your girl Simply Lindsay P here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by, and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up or subscribe if you enjoy the content. 2021 is T-minus, I don't know, 12 hours away, and I am honestly just so excited to put this year behind me. And what better day to come to you guys than today to talk about goal setting. Today I want to talk to you guys about 8 tips that you can implement to make sure that you actually achieve your goals this year. So without further ado, if you're interested, let's get rolling. So tip number 1 is to review and reflect. I understand that some people aren't even in the mental space to be thinking about goals or planning. Like you just want to be done, and I get it. But I also think that this is a perfect opportunity to kind of put that hard time behind you and find something to look forward to. Identify what went well for you in 2020, because despite, you know, all of the tragedy, there are some things to still be grateful for. I'm sure if you really dig, whether it's big or small, there's something that did go well for you in 2020. Assess, you know, where could you have done better? What could you have changed? And what you did really well, and give yourself a nice little round of applause for those things. For me, I do that a lot in the form of journaling. I have a prayer journal that I write in almost every single morning, and that is a huge reflection for me. I can go back through the year and just kind of see where I was at different points in the year and kind of like assess my behaviors, my attitudes, things of that nature. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is to identify your core values. You guys, this is really important, especially in today's age with social media. It's very easy to get lost if you don't know what your core values are. And really, your core values should be pretty much the foundation of every goal that you set. If it doesn't align with your core values, you kind of want to ask yourself why you're making that a goal of yours. Is it something that society says that you should have? Is it something that your family says you should have, friends? Or are you simply comparing yourself to other people in your age group? You want to make sure you kind of have a temperature check on that when you're getting ready to kind of figure out what you want your goals to be for the next year or the next stage of life. It's really important that those come into alignment with your personal values. So for me, I have 4 of them for 2021. I have family, I have faith, I have finances, and I have my fitness. I wanted to keep it 4 F's, and wellness isn't an F, so I substituted it with fitness. Once you've identified your core values, the third thing you want to do is simply brainstorm. Write down anything that comes to mind that could potentially be a goal. It can be small, medium, or large. Your list can be 5 goals, or it could be 25 goals. You just want to put it on a visual piece of paper or type it on a Word document, Google Doc, whatever. Just brainstorm all of your goals. And then what you can do is kind of categorize those goals into short-term goals, you know, medium-term goals, I guess, and then long-term goals. So short terms being like 6 months to a year. I would say medium-term goals are like a year to 3 years, and then anything like 3 to 10 is, you know, long-term. So ask yourself if it's something that's truly going to fulfill you, and if it's something that's going to help you accomplish your life vision. When you're planning goals, you really want to do it in a way that ideally moves you toward that life vision. So take some time to map that out. If you need to dial it back and identify what you want that life vision to be for yourself, this is just setting the foundation to make sure that your goals actually are something that you want to do. Which sounds crazy, but oftentimes we can set goals that really we don't even care about. We just set them because we're told that that's what we're supposed to do. So yeah, that is step number 3. Once you've done all of that, step 4 is to evaluate your list and pick 1 to 3 goals that really call out to you. Like, this list can get extensive, guys. So the reason for this list is it will help you narrow down what you really want to focus in on. So 1 to 3 goals. Because statistically speaking, if you try to do anything more than that, it's kind of like having your hands in too many pots and you trying to do a little bit of everything, and then you accomplish nothing. So really try to limit yourself to 1 to 3 goals, and that's it. So look at the list and kind of go through the process of elimination. Maybe something that you thought was a short-term goal that can be put on the back burner as a long-term goal. Really try to hone in on what is speaking to you at this moment in your life and pick those 1 to 3 items and focus on those for the next year. Step number 5. Once you've picked your 1 to 3 goals, you want to break those down into SMART goals. I'm sure you guys have heard this term before, but just in case you haven't, SMART goals stand for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time sensitive. You want to make sure you break your goals down into all 5 of those things. So, for example, saying I want to save more money in 2021 is a great goal, but it's not a SMART goal because it's very broad. Like, right? Like, what is more money? An extra $50, an extra $500, an extra $5,000? What is going to be your baseline for you to be able to look at the end of the year and say, yes, I did it, or no, I didn't do it? That's why SMART goals are really, really important. So that same goal of wanting to save more money, you want to take it and break it down to maybe something like, I want to save $10,000 in 2021. Okay, if I want to save $10,000 in 2021, that's specific. Depending on your income, it's attainable. It's relevant because, you know, your overall goal is you want to save more money. It's measurable. I'm going out of order now, but bear with me. It's measurable. You can either solidly say, you can look at your bank account at the end of 2021 and say, yep, I hit my goal, or I missed it by $2,000, or I didn't hit it much at all, because it's a solid target and it's time sensitive. You want this to happen in 2021. And then you can even break it down further, what that needs to look like on a smaller term. So if your goal is to save if your goal is to save $10,000 by the end of the year, then how much do you have to save a quarter? That's 4 quarters in a year, $2,500 a quarter, which doesn't feel so massive, right? It doesn't feel like this huge number if you break it down. So you can focus on the quarter, you know, how can I save this $2,500, and just take it in chunks, one $2,500 chunk at a time, and next thing you know, you've made it to your $10,000 goal. So SMART goals will be your friend. Number 6. Okay, guys, this is really important. You want to share your goals with someone. Okay, find an accountability partner. Maybe it's your significant other, maybe it's your sister, a friend, a mentor, a coach. Doesn't matter. Just make sure that this is someone that you trust and someone whose opinion you kind of sort of value, and that you might be, maybe even, dare I say, a little bit embarrassed to go and report no progress or negative progress to them. This is someone you don't want to let down. You want to be able to give them an update that you are progressing in your goals. If you pick someone who, you know, maybe is on the same bandwagon as you, maybe that isn't their strength, that isn't really going to serve you in terms of meeting the goal. You want to pick someone whose opinion you value and respect, and someone who you kind of like gives you that little feeling in your heart if you will let them down. So for me, that's my fiance. For you, identify whoever that is, but definitely find someone who you can trust and share your goals with them. And that way you guys can keep each other on track and check in to see how each other's doing with their goals. Once you've identified that person, you want to start to identify, this is step number 7, by the way. You want to start to identify the behaviors. This is really, 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 really important. Listen to me when I say this. If you don't take anything else away from this video, hear this. In order to achieve your goals, you have to change behaviors, right? So identify the things in your life that you can control, okay? That's the key. Things in your life that you can control, and what you need to do to change them so that you can meet your overall arching goal. This is going to sound crazy, but forget everything that I just said. Do not focus on the goal. With everything I just said, just go ahead, throw the goal away. Don't focus on actually achieving your goal. What you want to do is take your goal, break it down into behaviors that will kind of lend to that end result of that goal, and you want to focus on those behaviors. So let me give you guys an example. One of those goals for me is to be more present with my family. I'm a mom, I work full time, I'm a fiance, and I also have friends and my own, you know, life before I became all those things that I want to maintain. And I want to be present for every single one of those roles. There's only 24 hours in a day. So I need to be on top of my time management, and time blocking is a huge thing for me. So I can say all year long, I want to be more present and more available in the different roles in my life. That's a great goal. But if I don't identify what it takes to get there, I'll be saying that again in 2022. I ask myself, how can I do that? What can I change? I can wake up earlier, plan to have a set amount of time where I accomplish my own stuff. So whether that be career goals, my YouTube or social media goals, or just self-development in general happens in that time block. Then from this time to this time, I am getting ready for work. I'm in mommy mode. When I'm at work, 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, I am focused solely on being Lindsay the property manager, Lindsay an employee, and once 6 o'clock comes, I've given work my all, and now I'm back into Lindsay the friend, the mom, you know, the fiance who's cooking, cleaning, all those type of things. But the behavior is that I had to change is, okay, I cannot wake up at 7 or 8 every day and still try to get all this stuff done. I know I'm at work for 8 hours at minimum, and then I'm coming home and have to do, you know, my mom duties and stuff like that, or my fiance duties, just, you know, household things, cook, clean, make sure everyone's taken care of, all that type of stuff. And my bedtime is 10:30 because I got to be up the next morning to go to work. And what time is there if I continue to do that to be able to be available for my friends, my sisters, to be able to film content and edit it? It's impossible. So the change behavior that I have to do to result in being able to be present for all of these different roles that I have is I need to get up earlier. So now I'm up at 4:45 a.m. and that gives me 4 hours before I have to be at work to accomplish certain things. So, but if I didn't make that change behavior, what was happening is I would try to cram all of these things, and I'd get off work and come and I'd still be trying to edit a video, or I'd be trying to get, you know, just fit everything together, and it wasn't working. I ended up not being present at all for the latter half of 2022. I mean, the latter half of 2020, my relationship was suffering from it. I guess, you know, I can be transparent. It was affecting my relationship. It was affecting my, you know, confidence as a mom. It was affecting the type of content, or not being able to produce the type of content that I wanted to produce, and it just wasn't working. The goal is being present in all those roles. The change behavior is readjusting my schedule and holding myself accountable to waking up earlier. Focus on the behavior. If you want to lose weight, don't focus on the number of pounds you want to lose. Focus on what you eat, what you drink, when you're going to the gym, set alarms, habits. Habits are very important, and that's what's going to help you reach your goal. If you want to save money, focus on your spending habits, not just I want to save money. If you don't change your spending habits, sis, you're not going to save no money. And that's just that. Final step, once you've done all of that, you've identified your accountability partners, your core values, you know, you've picked your 3 goals, you know what behaviors or adjustments you need to make in your life. You want to have regular reviews. Ideally with the person that is your accountability partner, or the person you shared your goals with. So this could be monthly reviews, or this could be quarterly reviews, but you definitely want to review and analyze and reassess where you are on the path of meeting those goals regularly. Don't wait until 6 months into 2021 to take a look at where you are in your goals, because although you still have 6 months left to adjust it, if you look at your goals where you are month by month, then you can catch whatever it is that could have kept you off track sooner, and that could propel you further and further in your goals. So I highly recommend scheduling a monthly one-on-one with whoever that person is for you, and just checking in and seeing where you guys are, letting them know whether you're succeeding in those change behaviors, whether you need a little bit of help, and together you can kind of assess where you need to pivot or what changes you need to make early on, so that it's not a drastic change later. So let's go back to my $10,000 example, right? If you didn't save anything for the first 6 months, instead of saving $2,500 a quarter, now you got 2 quarters that you need to save $5 grand each. That's a different, you know, that could be a different level of, oh, that's a lot, you know, versus taking it and making it more manageable. Versus if you take 25 a quarter and divide that by 4 months and you miss a month, you don't save as much as you can, it's not as bad to make up the next month than it is to try to make up 6 months of that goal. So make sure you're scheduling regular check-ins and reviewing on a regular basis, and that should hopefully keep you all on track. With that being said, guys, those are my 8 tips for making sure you set the right goals and stay on track with those goals for 2021. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments. What are your goals for the new year? What are you guys looking forward to? Do you have any other tips that I left out that you'd like to share with the rest of us? Please go ahead and leave those down in the comments. And that's pretty much all I have, guys. I wish you all a happy new year, and blessings, success, prosperity, health, all the good things be bestowed to you in this new year. And with that, I'm signing off, y'all. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Smooches.